We all are born in a time where humans already have explored the whole world. Now it is time to explore the universe and find answers to the unanswered questions. Not only do we now have a way to see things light years away or have a look at million years in the past, but we also might soon have the ability to make humans a multiplanetary species. Some people, and also some really smart people, see this as the only way for mankind to survive, as our Earth, or at least our Earth as we know it, might soon not exist anymore. Whether it is because of climate change, volcano eruptions, or an asteroid hit. The best, nearest destination to fulfill these plans is already found, and a lot of plans to make life there possible were also made. Scientists found our neighboring planet Mars, just on average 70 million kilometers further away from the Sun as Earth, as a very good second planet for human civilization. Not only because Mars is relatively near to Earth and the journey to Mars could be done in just 6 months, but also because it is viewed as habitable and has storage of frozen water. Another positive aspect of Mars is that it still has decent sunlight and the atmosphere stores a lot of carbon dioxide, which gives it the ability to grow plants there. Also, the day length is similar to the one on Earth, with just 37 minutes longer, and Mars gravity is 38% to ones on Earth, which scientists expect humans to be able to adapt to. But what does it take in order to really make humans multiplanetary? If humans want to survive, we need to get independent from Earth, which in this case means the need of a self-sustaining city on Mars that does not require any resupply ships from Earth. To achieve this, we have to think this through very carefully. For example, if we made Mars completely self-sustaining, except for one small detail like medicine, Mars wouldn't be self-sustaining. This goal of making life on Mars possible is still hunted by a lot of people. The most prominent example is probably Elon Musk. He's the CEO of SpaceX and founded it with making humans multiplanetary as one of the main goals. The company pushes a lot towards achieving this goal. Currently, they are developing a new rocket which could potentially revolutionize spaceflight again, after SpaceX has already done that by landing the first stage of the operational rocket Falcon 9. The new rocket is called Starship Super Heavy and is supposed to be able to not only land the first stage, but also the second stage, which is called Starship. Often the whole rocket and not only the second stage is meant when talking about Starship. Currently Starship gets developed in Boca Chica, Texas, and the progress there is really fast. After we saw the first high altitude test flight on the 9th December 2020, where SN8 flew to a height of 12.5 kilometers and crashed on the pad at landing. We saw SN15 fly the same maneuvers and successfully land on the 5th May 2021, so just about 5 months later. First booster, which is the first stage of the rocket, is also already built. And the two parts, Starship and the booster, have already been connected on the launch tower once. SpaceX would probably be already able to make the first orbit test flight with the new rocket, but the FAA hasn't allowed SpaceX to do it yet. Some think we won't see the first test flight in this year anymore, which would massively delay the whole plan the company had. The rocket is the biggest rocket ever built and is able to refill itself in orbit with the fuel of another Starship. Due to this ability, Starship is able to carry up to 100 tons of payload to orbit with each flight. The reusability of the rocket makes it possible to launch each rocket multiple times and up to 3 times a day, which would mean 300 tons of cargo carried to orbit with each rocket every day. That means every Starship could carry up to 60 elephants to space every single day. Due to the delay through the FAA at the moment, the original time plan is delayed. In the first place, the plan was to send the first Starship with cargo to Mars by 2022, but this won't be possible as we haven't seen the first orbital test flight yet. So, the plan of sending the first humans to Mars in 2024 will most probably also not be possible. But is there already a new plan? At the moment it is difficult to tell a new realistic plan, as it's unclear when the FAA will allow SpaceX to fly their Majestic rocket. Also, nobody can tell how many flights it will take SpaceX to make the rocket reliable enough to fly humans in it. Due to the fact that both planets rotate around the Sun at different speeds, we can't fly to Mars every time we want. We have to wait for certain launch windows, which occur only about every 26 months, in which time the way for a rocket to Mars is the shortest. The next window would be in late 2022, which won't fit a flight of SpaceX rocket to Mars. After this window, we have another one at the end of 2024, which could possibly fit the first flight to Mars, carrying cargo and testing Starship's abilities. If we don't see the first payload launch to Mars in that window, we will most probably see it launch at the end of 2026, if everything Starship related goes to plan. If SpaceX can use both launch windows to carry cargo to Mars, we might see the first humans fly to Mars in this decade. The last launch window this decade is at the end of 2028 and the beginning of 2029. In the case we don't see humans fly to Mars in this window, we will most probably see it launch in the window after that, so about 26 months later. After we landed the first humans on Mars, it will probably still take some time until we will see humans stay on Mars permanently, and it will take even longer to really make Mars self-sustainable. There's a high chance we won't see the scenario in this century anymore. Although it still seems to take a long time until Mars is independent from Earth, there are already plans on how life could look like there. At the moment, Mars is too cold for humans to go outside without a spacesuit, and humans couldn't breathe without a spacesuit. But it could be warmed up, and an atmosphere in which humans could breathe could be also created. How this is possible and how life in general could look like on Mars will be discussed in a future video. If you don't want to miss that, which in your place I really wouldn't, please consider subscribing. Also, if you enjoyed this video, some feedback would be massively appreciated. So, if you could leave a like and a nice comment, it would really mean a lot to me, and you could support me a lot. Thanks.